Hey guys, it's Vanessa here at Cake Style, and today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous basket of flowers. I've done it in a beautiful shade of cornflower blue, and I've got all of these gorgeous flowers. Some of them are new ones that I've never shown you how to pipe, so I'm really excited to share this video with you. This video is sponsored by Graphicstock. It has the largest library of images to download. There's photos, illustrations. They have over 300,000 to choose from. And I have used some in this introduction. It looks pretty cute. I also love going on there so that I can grab some cake and baking photos. Anyone who's followed me for a long time will know that I write a blog series called The Secret Life of a Cake Decorator, and I often get really caught up in writing and then have to rifle through all of my images to try and figure out a cool cake or a cool baking shot to add with it. With the images from Graphicstock, they are 100% copyright free, which means that you cannot be sued for using them. They are part of an annual subscription that they have, which I kind of think is pretty fantastic because lots of places charge you per image to download, and it can be up to $30 just to download one image. Whereas with Graphicstock, you pay a $99 per annum subscription, and then you can have an unlimited amount to download. Now for you guys to get started, we have a 7-day free trial. During that time, you can download 140 images. I'll be adding the details in the description box below for you, but you just want to head to graphicstock.com/YouTube and you can check that out. Now it's time to get started with this cool cake, and what I've gone and done is baked 2 square cakes that are both milk chocolate mud cakes. And I'm just layering each cake twice, and then filling it with a delicious vanilla chocolate chip buttercream. Don't worry, I'll add the details for the recipes in the description box below so that you can head on over to the website and check those out. What I want to do is stack 3 of these layers onto an 8-inch square cake board, and then one layer is going to go onto a cardboard board instead, and this is going to be our lid. Now I'm applying a crumb coat to the sides and top of all of these cakes. Now the lid was a little bit too small for the board, so I went ahead and added a touch more buttercream than just a crumb coat because I want to make sure that we don't see that board when I'm piping the basket weave pattern. And then I want to chill these in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'm going to take some of the offcuts of the cake. Don't worry, I know that this looks super firm, but it's just the way mud cakes look. They're actually incredibly moist cakes and very, very soft, but they always get a hard crusting on top. What I want to do is just create a little angle and pop that into the cake before adding some wooden dowels just to support this lid. Now before I place the lid on, I want to mark out where straight is, and that way I stay on track. Once the lid is on, I want to add a central dowel through the entire cake, and that will lock in the lid to the rest of the cake. Taking a piping bag, and I have a coupler, I'm going to be adding a number 8 round tip. Now I have this in a gorgeous cornflower blue, and I will add the details for the recipe in the description box below. First I want to mark out a straight line along the edge of the lid. And then I'm just going to come along and do little tiny loops over, leaving enough space in between to add another one. Then all you need to do is create your next line. Make sure that you're pretty much going over the top of where you ended those little loops. And then now you're going to go in between those spaces, just like I said. All you need to do is just keep making rows and then doing little loops as you go. Now I work on the lid first rather than working on the main part of the cake because I find working from top to bottom means I'm less likely to bump it as I go and smush my frosting. When it comes to the sides, it's just a miniature version. So we just need to do a little line, 2 or 3 across, and just continue that all the way around. Just make sure that you're looping around the sides really well as you hit each corner. Now I've sped up this video. For the most part, the piping is done in double time. So you actually do pipe this fairly slowly, and it does take a couple of hours to do this cake. I piped a shell border just along the back edge, and then any little bits that need an extra row, you just want to go ahead and do that now. In all honesty, I stopped for lunch at this point because my hand was getting a little bit sore from doing all of this piping, but it is a really easy technique. Like I said, it just takes a little while. So working down the sides, I'm using a tilting turntable just to make my life easier on camera, and it does help it so that it sticks to the cake. But don't worry if you don't have one, you can still do it with a regular turntable. Once that's done, you want to pop it into the fridge and grab a whole bunch of cool colors to make our flowers. Don't worry, I'm going to add all of the details in the description box for how I made each shade. I'm going to take 2 different shades of the same green and create beautiful soft leaves. Now you'll see I'm using a flower nail as well as little pieces of parchment paper. Now I've actually done this leaf before in a 2-tone and I just find that it's always gorgeous. I'll add the details so you can check out that video as well. The first flower I want to get started on is just a really soft kind of fantasy flower. It's not meant to look like any flower in particular, but I've gone for a really nice soft creamy beige color, and I'm just making some wriggly petals. I want to go all the way around, and then I just want to turn my wrist a little bit and do another layer on top of that. The next flower I want to work on is another version of a wild rose. It's kind of like a wild rose crossed with a ranunculus. So you want to go ahead and make a cone, do a little loop around with one petal, and then just create long petals going around. The key with this one is to just make each petal really long and not wriggly. So don't move your hand at all. Just go back and forth, kind of like windscreen wipers. Now I'm taking a darker shade of taupe and I'm going to be placing some little dots into the center of both of those flowers. I want the ones in the wild rose to be a little bit longer and be a little bit more like dots on our blossom. I've been popping these onto a cookie sheet and that just makes it nice and easy to take it to the fridge, letting it chill for about 20 minutes. Now we're going to start my favorite flower in this, and it's kind of like a daisy or a gerbera, and I just want to do long movements of each petal, going up and down all the way around. Now, as you can see, I'm a lefty, so if you're right-handed, you want to keep moving to the right. And I think you'll love how easy this one is to do. I'm just going to add some little dots into the center of these as well before I get started with the gorgeous rose. Now, this is in the darkest shade of ruby that I'm using, and this is more of a traditional rose that I've done in lots and lots of videos. So if you'd like to see this in more detail, I will add some links below so that you can check out the other videos. Don't forget to make some little versions as well. And then be sure to pop these into the fridge as well. Now I just want to go around and add a little bit of blue into that middle section, just so that the cake doesn't go stale, and also in case any of our blossoms go all the way back, there's something to attach to. But pretty much at this point, it's just add as many flowers as you want in any order that you like. I really love the mix of colors. I know that it seems like the apricot is a totally different color to these deeper ruby shades, but I actually used the exact same food color, just in different amounts. And that's why, even though they look really different, it tends to go and coordinate with each other really well. Once you've popped them all in, I want to go ahead and change my tip on the green to a 352, which is just a standard leaf tip. And I just want to add some wriggly leaves anywhere I can find a space. And that's how you make a beautiful flower basket cake. I had so much fun making this. This cake was so delicious, so be sure to check out the recipe. I loved getting all of these gorgeous shots done. My friend Renee took them and they're just stunning. So I want to say a massive thank you for that. And thank you to Graphic Stock again for sponsoring this video and making it possible. I will see you guys next Tuesday, and I hope you have an awesome week.